Good afternoon, and thank you for joining our webinar on Emissions Reduction Alberta's Strategic Energy Management for Industry Program, or SEMI. We are glad you could join us today so we can share this great opportunity with you. Taking advantage of SEMI will set your facility on a path to success by enabling energy savings, increasing competitiveness, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge where we are. In the spirit of reconciliation, we at the ERA acknowledge the privilege of living, working, and investing on traditional territories, which include Treaty 6, Treaty 7, and Treaty 8 nations, Métis Nations, Region 3 and 4, Inuit, First Nations, and all others who live and care for these lands. We are dedicated to promoting a culture of collaboration and meaningful engagement. Before we get into the agenda, I'd like to start by going through a few housekeeping tips, just to make sure we get the most out of our time today. First of all, we are expecting almost 200 participants today, so everyone's microphone is muted to avoid unintentional background noise. If you encounter technical challenges related to the webinar connection, please email semi@eralberta.ca. However, if you can't resolve your technical issues or if you need to leave early, don't worry. The recording of this webinar will be posted on the SEMI program website. The recording will include both the presentation and the live Q&A with audio. Speaking of the Q&A, on the top right of your screen, you'll notice a question mark icon. Clicking this will open a slide panel where you can type in your questions. You can submit a question anytime during this webinar. A quick note, please do not enter questions in the chat box. Now, in terms of an agenda for today, first, we will introduce Enerva Energy Solutions, a team of experts who are the solo service provider for the Facility Readiness Assessment and Strategic Energy Management Training, who will assist participants throughout these activities. Then we will provide a brief overview of Emissions Reduction Alberta's Strategic Energy Management for Industry program. For more information on the program, we invite you to watch a recording of our first and second webinars available on our website, eralberta.ca/semi. Next, we will go over the SEM training in detail, covering key benefits, training approach, training curriculum, and next steps. Finally, we will address questions submitted during the webinar. If we miss your question, feel free to follow up with us afterwards. With that, let's get started. My name is Miki, and I am the SEMI Program Coordinator at Emissions Reduction Alberta.
Hi, my name is Julien, and I am the SEM lead at Enerva. Miki and I will be trading back and forth today as we talk about the SEMI program. And we'll both be here after the presentation to answer questions during the Q&A period. I'll briefly share a bit about Enerva. ERA selected Enerva through a procurement process to support delivery of the SEMI program. We're a team of mechanical, electrical, and chemical engineers supported by technologists that understand energy use, energy performance, and energy analysis. We use various software tools that provide energy baselines, energy models, and opportunity assessments for specific equipment. We also leverage our library of energy saving opportunities for most electrical and thermal energy systems. Calgary is our center of excellence for energy management, where we're developing advanced energy and emissions analytics software and also our hub city for energy management professionals. Enerva will be providing the SEM training out of Calgary and will provide other locations for the in-person sessions based on the cohort. Our primary goal is to provide exceptional service to the program participants and maximize our ability to leverage the SEMI program. As an example, and many on this call may have participated in the Energy Savings for Business. From February 2021 to now, ESB delivered energy savings for business across Alberta. ESB primarily targeted commercial customers, but the Speed Initiative focused on small oil and gas producers. ESB was a $55 million program that drove $385 million in total capital expenditures in this province. Now I'll turn things back over to Miki.
Thank you, Julien. I will provide the overview of the SEMI program. Emissions Reduction Alberta's Strategic Energy Management for Industry program helps industrial and manufacturing facilities improve their energy performance and increase profitability by offering co-funding to implement an integrated system of practices, processes, and capital retrofits. Taking advantage of the SEMI program will set your facility on a path to success by enabling energy savings, increasing competitiveness, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. You can find more detailed information on the SEMI website, including documents such as program brochure, terms and conditions, application guides, and FAQs. With funding from the Government of Alberta's Technology Innovation and Emissions Reduction, Tier Fund, and Natural Resources Canada, NRCan, SEMI offers financial incentives that cover up to 50% of eligible project costs for-profit organizations and up to 100% for not-for-profits and Indigenous organizations. Please note that March 31st, 2027 is the deadline to complete your project and submit eligible expenses and project documentation. Additional funding caps per eligible activity are stated on the SEMI website. SEMI also allows in-kind contributions from the facility to offset the co-funding requirement for certain activities. Participating facilities must meet the following requirements. The facility is owned or leased in Alberta and has been in operation for at least 1 year with fixed equipment and building used to produce goods. The facility operates in one of the eligible sectors listed on the slide that is defined by the North American Industry Classification System, or NAICS. Eligible facilities may also include those engaged in energy-consuming process and involve the physical or chemical transformation of materials or substances into new products. Products may be finished or semi-finished. Related activities include assembling component parts, blending materials, and finishing products. If you are unaware of your NAICS code but believe you are eligible for the program, please register on the online portal and enter the NAICS code you think best fits your facility. We will update the NAICS code if needed after you have registered for the facility readiness assessment. The first step in the SEMI program is to complete a facility readiness assessment, or FRA. All the participants are required to complete the FRA. The FRA will provide recommendations on how to maximize your access to all SEMI activities based on the facility's current energy management capabilities and readiness for implementing energy-saving measures. ERA's service provider, Enerva Energy Solutions, will deliver the FRA. The reason why we are having our service provider, Enerva, complete the FRA is that we want to ensure we are collecting data consistently. Also, a key outcome of the FRA is providing a roadmap for other SEMI activities. After completing the FRA, participants can engage in the following 4 activities: conduct an energy assessment and audits, implement an energy management information system, participate in strategic energy management training, invest in energy efficiency focused capital retrofits. There are funding caps for each activity and a program end date of March 31st, 2027. So the FRA is designed for you to maximize what you get from the SEMI program. Now I will pass the mic over to Julien from Enerva to explain the SEM training in more detail. Similar to the FRA, Enerva will deliver the SEM training. This will help ensure consistency in the delivery of the SEM curriculum, as well as create efficiencies in developing cohorts that are comprised of facilities in a similar sector.
Thank you, Miki. Strategic energy management, SEM, is a long-term approach to energy efficiency that includes setting goals, tracking progress, and reporting results. A successful strategic energy management plan builds long-term relationships with energy users and targets persistent energy savings. The energy management continuum includes multiple stages. For many organizations, they may find themselves at the project focus of the SEM continuum. These organizations may undertake periodic energy audits, implement recommended measures and capital projects, and see energy savings post-implementation. Further interventions may be based on increasing energy costs or identified opportunities. Organizations with an energy manager may have more of a project focus, but are likely to see themselves on that continual energy improvement. The organization will be more proactive at tracking energy and considering energy performance and decision making. Energy use will be tracked and opportunities tracked and followed up with. These organizations may be using Energy Star to track and benchmark their energy performance at this time. Further along is the 50001 Ready and the ISO 50001 standard. These take the continuous improvement of other management systems such as ISO 9001 and ISO 14001, often referred colloquially as Plan, Do, Check, Act, and apply this to energy management. Facilities with these standards will have policies and culture for continuous improvement of the energy management systems. From ongoing monitoring of energy consumption and energy performance of implemented improvements to regular review of energy studies and energy opportunities, an ongoing review and updating of the energy SEM plan and policies within the organization. Organizations that have existing management systems in place may be well positioned after SEM to proceed with ISO 50001 certification or the 50001 Ready recognition. In addition, external recognition programs such as Energy Star for industry will allow your facility to track and recognize energy saving success. The benefits of SEM are numerous. We know that on average, facilities that have implemented SEM have seen 3% energy savings in the first year, improving the bottom line. It also creates persistent energy savings through operations and maintenance and improving the persistence of energy savings from capital projects. Besides energy cost savings, SEM aligns well with preventive predictive maintenance by reducing equipment run times and identifying when equipment is running when it shouldn't. SEM enables employees to help support energy saving activities, improving engagement by knowing that they are having an impact. Through SEM, participants develop the tools, policies needed to act on the energy data in their facility, quickly eliminating energy waste and reducing wear and tear on equipment. This impact isn't limited to the shop floor. SEM impacts all facets of the facility, from procurement and capital planning to making sure energy efficient projects are performing as planned over the long term. Your facility is also positioned as a leader in energy management, highlighting tangible actions that the facility is doing to achieve its environmental and energy goals. Facilities completing SEM may be well positioned to achieve 50001 ready, pursue ISO 50001 certification, or may choose to participate in the Energy Star Challenge for Industry or Energy Star for Industry certification. Potential SEM facilities participants will be facilities who see themselves in any of the following statements. They have those with focus on energy use, those seeking to reduce energy and emissions, those who want to create alignment throughout the facility on energy performance, organizations with multiple energy systems, be it steam, compressed air, refrigeration, looking to eliminate energy waste, as well as facilities with existing energy managers or management systems in place are well suited. Through the FRA, the Energy Management Assessment may identify SEM as a benefit to your facility. The first focus of SEM is a peer-to-peer learning environment. SEM is designed to be delivered in cohorts of 5 to 10 facilities. These will be grouped as possible based on geography, sector, and similar complexity and energy management knowledge. Participants will benefit from a peer-to-peer learning environment that will focus on experiential learning, knowledge sharing, as well as technical support. These cohorts will be grouped by facilities of similar complexity and size, energy management knowledge, sector, and geography as possible. The curriculum is structured to follow the 50001 Ready program and eligible participants and enable participants to complete and implement their SEM plan. The focus areas of the curriculum will be tailored based on the needs and interests of the cohort. The SEM participant will identify an energy team. This should include 2 individuals, an energy manager and champion, and a backup. And then additional members will be identified based on your facility and organization. Other individuals from the energy team can participate in in-person sessions, as well as during the additional virtual sessions. The energy champion or energy manager will need to have a basic understanding of engineering and statistical fundamentals, such as an understanding of power and energy, how industrial systems work, and be able to conduct a statistical analysis such as regressions. Candidates who need to increase their understanding will be provided access to additional learning content. Due to the resources required and the need to implement policies, SEM requires support from the organization. This is why an executive sponsor is needed on the energy team. The SEM delivery, including the curriculum focus, duration, and schedule, is finalized at kickoff based on the cohort. You are expected to participate for the full duration and complete all the curriculum activities. The curriculum activities will include various requirements designed to meet the SEM objectives, including development of case studies, employee engagement material, tip sheets, energy policy statements, among other items, and various energy analysis models, update reports for your management, and a closing report and energy management plan for your facility. The delivery will start with the kickoff meeting that will review the SEM curriculum, key deliverables, focus areas, as well as other mechanics of the program. The curriculum will be delivered through 4 in-person sessions, running from half to a full day. In between the in-person sessions, the cohort will meet virtually once, along with monthly one-on-one meetings to provide coaching and address facility-specific needs. The program is designed to be no cost to the participant, other than travel and accommodation. The participant is expected not only to participate in the scheduled sessions, but also advance SEM and the curriculum objectives at their facilities between sessions. This will include development of employee engagement material, tip sheets, energy policy statements, and the SEM plan at your facility. One of the key benefits to SEM is a continuous improvement cycle. SEM participants will increase their energy management knowledge and develop these competencies in-house to drive energy savings. Through the support from the SEM training, organizations will be able to identify opportunities, implement, track, and report on success, as well as have the tools to identify, review, and improve processes. SEM lays out key objectives to achieve, but how they are achieved is up to the participant, allowing for an approach that meets their needs and fits within their culture. Once you sign the terms and conditions, this will occur once your FRA terms and conditions is signed. Your facility will be enrolled in a cohort that meets your needs, including schedule, location, and peers. You'll identify an energy team and get going on your SEM journey. Building on the results of your FRA, you'll conduct an energy scan of your facility, build your facility's energy model, advance the energy management knowledge of facility staff through in-house training, and implement the SEM policy and procedures that fits your facility's needs. And most important part, for SEM, you'll be able to apply the check and act steps by reviewing and improving upon your SEM measures in place. As the curriculum will be tailored based on the makeup of the cohort, facilities that are interested in SEM want to have the tools to save energy, but aren't as interested in the process and procedures of SEM. We will be offering an SEM condensed course. This is designed to be completed within 12 months, offer additional opportunities for virtual learning, and will focus on the tools and techniques that a smaller energy manager-led energy team will need to advance energy performance at their facilities and see immediate success. For facilities with existing management systems, those with larger energy teams, and have identified a need for development of the policies and procedures that enact change should take part in the regular SEM offering. This is intended to be delivered over 12 to 24 months to provide ongoing help to the organization and support the longer timelines for implementation of SEM at these facilities. The kickoff session will go over the chronology and schedule of the training, as well as key deliverables for SEM training. Most of the content will be covered in the in-person workshops. Between the workshops, the cohorts will be virtually as well as one-on-one monthly check-ins. The check-ins are intended to help address the participant's specific questions and needs, as well as prepare the participant for the next in-person session. Throughout, the participant will be developing their SEM plan and the final report. This will be the final deliverable for the program. Finally, at the end, we will celebrate your facility's success with a closeout meeting and an opportunity to share the cohort members' lessons learned and their next steps. The curriculum is set up to progress through the different steps of strategic energy management, tying back into the 50,001 Ready Canada's 25 tasks. Each session will help the participant expand on these tasks as they continue to develop and refine their SEM plan for their facilities. The initial session will focus on laying the groundwork towards developing the SEM plan and on the tools and techniques to identify and act upon energy saving opportunities. As we progress, we will work on the skills to make sure your SEM plan fits your organization, can continually improve, and have impact on other areas of your facility, such as carbon and water use reduction. Throughout the SEM, we will focus on peer-to-peer and practical applied learning. In addition, technology-specific modules focus on systems such as pumps, compressed air, will be offered based on the cohorts and individual participants' needs. For example, the treasure hunt is a key element of getting the facility involved in improving energy performance. In the cohort setting, we'll perform a virtual treasure hunt that you can then apply to the systems in your facility. This involves assembling your energy team, gathering data to help investigate the process, performing a walkthrough to generate ideas, focusing both on the supply and demand side of the system, and then facilitating and identifying and documenting opportunities. Often, these treasure hunts will help identify energy waste such as idle equipment, wrong applications of energy, and low efficiency operation due to supply and demand mismatch. By discussing and reviewing as a team, they can better understand the why of identified waste and develop action plans that have buy-in from the team, improving persistence. If you're interested, go to the link and find out more and register. Facilities that have already applied for the FRA and have a key account manager should follow up with them. We are actively recruiting for our second cohort now. We wanted to give some special recognition to two companies who were the first companies to sign up for SEM. Like to their names are Southline Trailer and Sakai Spice. Welcome to the first cohort. Now back to you, Miki.
Before we get into our Q&A session, we wanted to highlight that on the SEMI website, we have provided answers to commonly asked questions. On this slide, we have also provided a summary of the most common questions we have received to date about the SEMI. The first one is, how long will an FRA take to complete, and what is the approximate cost? The duration and cost of the FRA will depend on the size and complexity of your facility, among other factors. We are expecting FRAs to take 3 to 8 weeks upon receipt of the required information. During a scoping meeting, we will work with you to determine the cost of the FRA. We anticipate that most participants will have enough in-kind contributions to offset any out-of-pocket expenses to complete the FRA. 2. How can I be an eligible contractor for the SEMI program? To become an eligible contractor, first, please register on the SEMI portal and review the Contractor Code of Conduct on the SEMI website. Additionally, ensure that your clients are also registered there as well. Once the first FRAs have been completed over the coming months, we will notify you regarding the next steps in your contractor enrollment for SEMI. After enrolling, you will be able to work with eligible facilities to support energy assessments and audits, EMIS, or capital retrofits. Please note that Enerva Energy Solutions will deliver the facility readiness assessment and strategic energy management training. 3. Who is delivering the SEM training? As I mentioned in the previous question, Enerva is the solo service provider for the SEM training. This will help ensure consistency in the delivery of the SEM curriculum and create efficiencies in developing cohorts that are comprised of facilities in a similar sector. Congrats to all of you who made it this far. Now this is your opportunity to ask any questions that you have for Julien. We also have Luca, ERA's Efficiency Program Delivery Lead, Parminder, Managing Director at Enerva, Mustafa, Semi-Program Manager at Enerva, with us to help answer questions. If you haven't already, please type your question into the question section of the control panel, which is typically on the right-hand side of your screen. I would also like to introduce my colleague, Anna, Semi-Marketing Strategist, who will moderate the Q&A session. Anna has been behind the magic curtain of this webinar collecting questions. Anna, what questions do we have so far?
Thanks, Miki. Hi, everybody, and thank you for submitting questions. I see a lot of great questions coming in. We likely won't have time to answer all the questions today. If we don't get to your question, please submit it to semi@eralberta.ca and we'll be happy to respond to you. Please also note that we'll be using your questions to inform our frequently asked questions, and we'll send a link to the updated version to all our attendees after the webinar. Okay, let's get started. Our first question is, what is the resource commitment for SEM? That's a great question to start with. Luca, would you like to address this one?
Thanks, Anna. Yeah, so as Julien mentioned, SEM requires an organizational commitment and as such requires commitment from personnel. Each organization must appoint an energy champion from the facility. Some facilities may already have an energy manager who would fit this role. This employee should have access to the data and resources to assess and prepare plans relevant to your organization. Beyond participating in the SEM training sessions and homework, the energy manager is expected to apply the principles of SEM and advance energy management and performance within the organization and at the facility. The expectation is that it will require 50 to 100% of their time based on facility size and complexity. Additionally, each organization must appoint an executive sponsor to engage the executive team and provide organizational coaching for the energy manager and champion in order to improve energy performance within their facility.
Thank you, Luca. Let's move up to the next question. This one will be for Parminder. Will we receive 50001 Ready Canada or ISO 50001 certification upon completion?
Yeah, thanks, Anna. Well, the short answer is no. While the SEM training program is based on those standards, the organization will have completed most, if not all, the steps required for either program. But most SEM training programs of this type get you ready for the next step towards certification or recognition. With respect to the 50001 Ready Canada, that is a self-attestation program based on completing the 25 tasks. So for ISO 50001 certification, this requires an external verification by an accredited body, which is outside of the scope of the SEM program here.
Thank you, Parminder. We have another interesting question here. Our organization is ready, ISO 40001 certified. What can SEM provide? Mustafa, would you like to take this one?
I'm
Can't
not
hear
sure if
Mustafa.
If
I could maybe
speak,
jump in
yeah.
for this one, Anna. So that's definitely a positive step for your organization if you're already ISO 14001 certified. This is positive for our program as well. That means that many of the management systems and procedures are already in place. The SEM training program follows the concept of ISO 50001, which is focused on energy management.
Thanks, Luca. Here's another great question from the audience. I already have sustainability goals at my facility. How will SEM help? And Luca, would you like to address this one?
Yeah, you bet. Having sustainability goals is a great start. SEM training can support your facility and corporate goals by engaging staff across the facility and implementing policies and procedures to achieve these goals holistically, rather than on an ad hoc basis.
Thank you, Luca. And the next question is, we already have an energy manager in place. How can this help? And Parminder or Mustafa, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, sure, Anna. It seems like Mustafa might be having some technical difficulties. So, yeah, so based on the outcomes of the FRA and the energy management assessment, there may be opportunities to further advance your facilities' energy management systems and the culture through SEM training. So this would be a great benefit for the energy manager already. This could also include pursuing recognized energy management certifications such as 50001 or 50001 Ready. This can assist in implementing energy management within individual roles rather than through a designated or person or staff. So I think having an existing energy manager is a great place to start because the SEM program does require an energy champion to be nominated from the facility.
Great, thank you, Parminder. Let's move on to the next question. We have already invested millions on a new energy efficient process and achieved our future energy targets. Should I participate in SEM? And Parminder, I'll pass it to you to provide your perspective.
Yeah, sure. Thanks again, Anna. Yeah, I mean, capital projects are fantastic and a necessary way to improve energy efficiency. But SEM can also further help your facility making sure those investments are sustainably achieving their objectives of energy efficiency through continuous improvement. And then often over time, processes may change, resulting in decreased energy efficiency. SEM can help enable your staff to make sure you track and identify anomalies in energy consumption, and also ensuring that equipment is replaced when energy efficient equipment is appropriate to where it's appropriate, and tracking and reporting of the benefits of energy conservation projects and processes. So these are some of the added benefits that you'll get from SEM to complement your capital investments.
Thank you, Parminder. We have another interesting question here. My staff is already tasked with saving energy and costs. How will SEM help? Luca, I will pass it to you to provide your perspective.
Yeah, thanks, Anna. And I think this is interesting based on the responses we saw come in from the poll as well. Looks like quite a few people have, the task of saving energy and costs at the facility, but maybe think they could benefit from additional SEM training. So the cohort learning environment can help you learn from peers on best practices to create an environment where energy management is part of the continuous improvement process. Improving how you track and report energy management performance can lead to increased buy-in from staff. SEM training can help you develop processes to improve feedback on frontline staff impact on energy consumption and justify further operational investment. SEM training will also equip you with the technical knowledge to target your largest energy systems to improve operational performance. Systems such as compressed air, steam, and refrigeration can provide significant savings from ongoing preventative maintenance programs.
Thank you, Luca. One of the audience members mentioned that they are already feeling overstretched and are unsure if they can make the commitment. Parminder, do you have any thoughts or suggestions on how we might address this?
Yeah, thanks, Anna. And that's such a common barrier these days, that we're all wearing many hats and lots of workload. I think the SEM program, we've tried to keep it as value add as possible. So perhaps being able to complement what you already got on your plate when it comes to energy management, but also maybe give you some more tools to make that energy management component more productive and efficient as well. So I think that's an important part to make sure we're working as effectively as possible. So you'll learn lots of different software tools and other methods that can improve that productivity for that person that's feeling overstretched.
Thank you, Parminder. Let's move on to the next question. Actually, this one will be for you as well. Can we send multiple participants?
Yeah, sure. I think right now, as the Julien slides indicated, for larger facilities or the SEM program, we're expecting 2 people from each facility, and for smaller or SEM condensed, perhaps 1. But I think it's important that we get engagement from those customers. And if you want to send more than 2, we'll treat that on a case-by-case basis. You can discuss that with your key account manager, and we'll do what's right for your organization to get the most value out of the SEM program.
Thank you, Parminder. Next question will be to Luca, and thank you for bringing it up. What if I can't make a session in SEM?
Thanks, Anna. Yeah, so participation in SEM is expected, and this is why we ask you to identify a backup energy champion in the case that you can't make, one of our sessions. However, we understand that circumstances can change, and should you need to miss a session, we will work with, each facility to make up the session. So an example of this might be, providing a recording of the session that was held and providing the materials that were presented during that session.
Thank you, Luca. We have another question here. 50 to 100% FTE seems like a lot. How can I meet my in-kind contribution? And Parminder, I think you're the right person to provide clarity on this.
Yeah, sure, thanks. And so the in-kind contribution is more comprehensive than just your participation. And right now we're working to develop the number of hours or effort that's going to be required. But there are other contributions that you can make that will meet the in-kind consideration. So it could be other studies that have been done in the past and have them contribute to some of the deliverables that are required of the SEM program, or there could be other undertakings during the program itself. So for example, if you have a requirement for additional metering or sub-metering on specific opportunities as you're learning the tools and software through the program, and you want to go ahead and install some of that, the costs associated with that could be counted towards your in-kind contribution. So your key account manager will work with you to figure out exactly how to meet your in-kind contribution requirements.
Thank you, Parminder. And the next one will go to you as well. If our organization does not have personnel on staff that are not confident with their qualifications to attend the SEM, can we appoint a representative such as a contractor familiar with our operation?
Yeah, thanks, Anna, for that. I'd say contact the program, and we will help you navigate that and treat it on a case-by-case basis. We want to make sure that you participate and improve the energy efficiency of your facility, and if that's has to be done a little bit more creatively, we'll work with you to solve that.
Great, thank you. The next one is a follow-up question on the program end date. Can you clarify the program end date of March 31st, 2027? Do capital retrofit projects need to be in operation with verified emissions reductions by March 31st, 2027? Luca, would you like to address this one, please?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Anna. So yeah, the March 31st, 2027 date is the last date where the program will be in market. And what we mean by that is, by that date, we require the capital retrofit projects, based on the question specifically, to be completed. But I guess more broadly, it would also include, completing your SEM training, doing an energy audit and assessment, energy management information system. So all the activities need to be completed by March 31st, 2027 and operational. On top of that, we require that your documentation is submitted by that time, and that we have a chance to review it, because oftentimes, you'll submit, an invoice or a document, and we might have some clarification questions. So we really want all of that process to be completed in time by March 31st. So if you think you're going to get close to that timeline based on your work plan, reach out to us, and we'll help you make sure that we have sufficient buffers in place to make sure you can hit the March 31st, 2027 deadline.
Thanks, Luca. And this one will go to you as well. Do municipalities qualify for these programs?
Yeah, so what I encourage folks to do is to take a look at the eligible NAICS codes on our website. We've listed the different sectors that are eligible to participate. There could be a situation where there are, municipalities that have facilities that qualify. So it really is not dependent on, I guess, the participant type per se. It's more dependent on the facility type. So I don't want to say yes or no. It's really facility dependent. If you have any questions specific to a facility that you're considering, please reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help you.
Thanks, Luca. Let's move up to the next question. What do you mean by in-kind contributions? Parminder, would you like to address this one, please?
Yeah, sure. And just, Luca, if you don't mind, I'll just add a little bit more color to the municipal question. I think you're absolutely right. It is facility dependent, but looking at the NAICS codes, the municipal types of facilities that would be eligible would be like solid waste or transfer stations, and also water and wastewater treatment plants. So whichever municipalities have those, which most will, those facilities specifically in the municipality will be eligible. And sorry, repeat the question, Anna?
It was clarification about in-kind contributions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I think we've kind of categorized in-kind contributions into three broad buckets. The first one is really your own time, and that begins from your onboarding into the process of familiarizing yourself with the program, getting all your necessary approvals, and then contributing to all of the activities that are eligible for in-kind contributions. So whatever time of your resources that's required to participate in the program and collect the information and all of that, that's all eligible for in-kind. We've also got a bucket around past work that you've done, whether it be prior studies, and those studies don't specifically have to be energy or an emission type study, but they could be specific systems where you're looking at the productivity or production levels, and you're trying to figure out how best to optimize production in a facility or in a process. And that's important because much of the equipment specifications and then those types of details, the operating parameters are already collected. So that has a huge value for both the FRA as well as the SEM program. So those are eligible as in-kind contributions because you've already incurred them, and they will offset some of the costs associated with the FRA and the SEM. So that's a good category. The next one is other activities that you pay out of pocket that contribute value to both the facility readiness assessment and the SEM. And a simple example could be additional metering or sub-metering or data logging that might be required to analyze or assess the energy savings opportunities. So those are kind of three buckets: your time, prior work, and then work that you do in the eligible activity itself.
Thank you, Parminder. Now I have a question about eligibility and facilities. What is the definition of facility, and what are the timelines required to be in service to be eligible to quantify energy efficiency improvement? Luca, would you like to address this one?
Yeah, definitely. So we do have a question on our FAQ page of our website, but I will try to address the question as well during the webinar, obviously. So what we do request is that facilities do have 1 year of utility bill data available to participate in our program. And the reason for that is we want to be able to use the most recent energy usage information available to ensure that we're calculating an accurate baseline for that facility. So if you have a facility that has been, in operation for more than 1 year, and it meets the NAICS codes on our website, chances are you'll be eligible. If you do have a situation where maybe you're at 10 months instead of 12 months, or something where it's really an edge case, again, just please reach out to us and we'll discuss your specific situation.
Thank you, Luca. It looks like we have time for 2 more questions, and these will be: is SEM training a requirement for all funding projects? Luca, would you like to take this one as well?
Yeah, thanks for the clarification question. So the only mandatory activity within the Strategic Energy Management for Industry program is to complete a facility readiness assessment. So once you have completed the FRA, we're going to provide you with recommendations to participate in the rest of the program. So this could be strategic energy management, could be the energy assessments and audits, energy management information systems, and capital retrofits. These are just recommendations. If you decide, the investments do not align with your investment capabilities, or if there's other factors that play into it, by all means you have the option to say thank you but no thank you. So just to clarify, the only mandatory activity to participate in our program is the FRA.
Thank you for clarification, Luca. And we will close up with this question. Can we hire a third-party contractor to act as an in-house SEM manager? And Parminder, would you like to address this one?
Yeah, thanks, Anna. Like we talked about before, just reach out to the program, and one of our account managers will help you navigate that question and make sure that we can allow that as well. So we'll treat that on a case-by-case basis. So it's not a hard no, but reach out and we'll definitely work with you to figure that out.
Thank you, Parminder. Great. Thank you, Luca and Parminder, for addressing those questions. Miki, I will pass it back to you to close this webinar.
Thank you all. With that, we are approaching the end of our webinar. We invite you to visit the SEMI program website at eralberta.ca/SEMI. As already mentioned, you will find application guides, FAQs, contractor code of conduct, and other supporting documents. Ready to start your SEMI journey? Register on the online portal today. We are here to support you every step of the way. If you have unanswered questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to our program team at semi@eralberta.ca. Thank you for joining our webinar, and we look forward to seeing you at the next one. Have a wonderful day.